In the cold silence of deep space, beyond mapped galaxies and forgotten stars, a corridor of unstable light had begun to form. Humans called it the Varelian Passage, a newly discovered interstellar route that seemed to bend physics itself. Unknown to them, another civilization had already been using it for centuries. The first sign of contact was not a message, it was a shadow. A massive human arkship, designated Colossus Horizon, entered the corridor with full defensive readiness. It was not a simple vessel. It was a moving world armed with layered shields, plasma cannons, and thousands of crew members trained for one purpose: survival beyond Earth's dying reach. At the exact same moment, from the opposite end of the corridor, something else arrived. The alien ship was not built like anything human engineers had ever imagined. It was alive in structure, shifting slowly like a metallic organism wrapped around a glowing core. It was larger than cities, silent as deep space, and its surface reflected stars like broken glass. Both civilizations saw each other at the same time. Red alerts flashed across human command decks. Unknown mass detected. Non-human architecture confirmed. Threat level escalating. Inside the alien vessel, similar alarms echoed through bio-neural systems. The humans were not recognized as peaceful explorers. They were categorized as unauthorized invaders entering sovereign flow space. Within minutes, both ships adjusted formation. Weapon systems awakened. Energy fields expanded like invisible storms. A broadcast signal was sent simultaneously from both sides. The human captain, Admiral Rourke Hale, stood on the bridge with hardened eyes. "This is Commander of the United Earth Expansion Fleet. You are entering restricted human exploration territory. Alter your course immediately." On the alien side, the message translated into thought patterns rather than sound. Their speaker was not a single being, but a collective consciousness, known as the Veil Core. "You are disrupting the sovereign corridor of the Veil Dominion. This path belongs to us. Withdraw or be removed." Silence followed. Then tension. The kind of silence that exists just before extinction-level decisions. Human weapons locked onto target coordinates. Alien energy fields mirrored the same response. One trigger error could ignite a war that would echo across galaxies. Admiral Hale's tactical officer whispered, "Sir, their energy output exceeds our calculations by 300%. On the alien vessel, the Veil Core processed human aggression as unstable and irrational. They had encountered species like this before, expanding civilizations that believed discovery meant ownership. Both sides believed the other had invaded first, and neither was willing to retreat. A countdown began on human screens, not ordered but automatic. Defense protocols preparing for last resort engagement. The alien ship responded with a spatial distortion field that began bending the corridor itself, slowly collapsing the route behind the human vessel. It was a silent threat: leave or be erased from passage entirely. Admiral Hale clenched his fists. "They're trying to trap us." Minutes passed like hours. Then something unexpected happened. A signal. Not a weapon discharge, not a threat, but a frequency shift. The alien vessel opened a communication channel that bypassed human language systems and directly interfaced with neural translation AI. Instead of words, emotions were transmitted: caution, territorial memory, and ancient fear. Humans responded with structured data: maps, colonization charts, resource needs, survival projections. Both sides suddenly realized something terrifying. Neither was here to destroy the other. Both were trying to survive the same dying galaxy. And yet, both were ready to start a war over the only remaining stable corridor between collapsing star systems. The tension did not fade, but it changed shape. Admiral Hale stepped forward. "Hold fire. Open diplomatic channel." Inside the alien vessel, the Veil Core hesitated. This was unusual. Humans were not behaving like predictable expansionist organisms. They were pausing. That pause changed everything. The corridor's energy fluctuations stabilized slightly as both ships reduced aggression output, but weapons remained armed, like fingers resting on triggers. Negotiation had begun, but trust had not yet been born, and in the depths of space, trust was more fragile than light itself. The diplomatic exchange was not held in a room, but in a shared simulation space created between the two vessels. A neutral digital environment formed from combined alien-human computational systems. It appeared as a vast, floating landscape of stars suspended over an endless void. Admiral Hale stood with his translated avatar beside his officers. Across from them, the Veil representatives manifested as shifting silhouettes of light and structure, never fully fixed, always evolving. The first message came from the humans. This corridor is essential for our species' survival. Earth is no longer sustainable. We are not here to conquer, only to migrate. The Veil Corps responded immediately. This corridor is not empty. It is a stabilized flow path created through ancient gravitational engineering. It is the artery of our civilization. A pause. Then the realization hit both sides again, deeper this time. They were not fighting over space. They were fighting over lifelines. Admiral Hale lowered his tone. If we continue this standoff, both our species may collapse. There must be a shared solution. The veil structure flickered. For the first time, hesitation appeared in their collective consciousness. Conflict data was reviewed across millions of memory fragments. Every prior encounter with emerging civilizations had ended in destruction. Either they were consumed or they consumed. But this situation was different. The humans had stopped firing first. A new protocol was suggested within the Veil Core. Assess coexistence probability. Back in the simulation space, both sides began exchanging raw data, not weapons codes, but astronomical maps, energy distributions, and migration timelines. Slowly, understanding formed like fragile bridges across an abyss. The corridor was not singular. It had multiple branching paths hidden in gravitational folds. It was possible, just barely possible, to divide usage without collapse. But it required precision, and trust, and time. Three things neither civilization had ever mastered in war. Admiral Hale spoke again. We will reroute our fleet to the lower spiral branch. We will avoid interference with your main flow. The Veil Corps responded after long silence. If you violate alignment, your fleet will be lost. But if you remain stable, we will not engage. It was not peace, not yet. But it was restraint. Both sides began slowly disengaging weapons systems. Energy fields cooled. Target locks dissolved like fading storms. Outside the simulation, the massive ships began to drift apart for the first time since contact. The human colossus horizon turned its massive structure toward a newly calculated subroute of the galaxy corridor. Engines ignited gently instead of aggressively. The alien vessel rotated in silence, its living structure folding inward as it reclaimed control over its portion of space. As distance increased between them, tension did not vanish, but it transformed into uneasy respect. Admiral Hale watched the alien ship fade into cosmic dust trails. We almost started a war over a road we didn't even understand. A junior officer replied quietly. Or maybe we finally learned we're not alone in needing it. In the depths of space, both civilizations continued forward, separated, cautious, but alive. The corridor remained open, and somewhere between fear and understanding, a new chapter of the galaxy quietly began.